Alright, boys, today we're talking about the best ways to sign an OnlyFans creator. So this can go for both, beginners and, if you're experienced, but you just want to find new ways to get a model, stuff like that. So yeah, this is not like ranked in the best from worst or anything like that. I just wrote it down. Um, so yeah, first of all, outreach, obviously the most, I guess, known one, most basic one. The one that people think is dying and doesn't work, which I'd say partially can you could say it's true. Not that it's dying and it doesn't work, but it's getting harder. If you're a complete beginner that has no clue what they're doing, your chance of signing a model by just DMing her saying, "Hi, I'm an agency. Can you do you want to work?" It probably won't work. Um, but outreach does still work. You just have to be a lot more creative with the way you do it. Obviously, look more professional, look like an actual human as well. Um, like I think one of the main issues that people have is they DM from an agency account. That also might look bad, and then the model doesn't really trust it. So the two ways that you can do outreach that work best is either from a personal account or a fake model account. Now, for the personal account, a lot of people, especially beginners, always wonder, oh, but I don't have photos of myself. I don't have that rich lifestyle. I don't have results to show for anything. So if they look at my account, they're gonna think I'm just a random guy. Um, so there's two ways to do it. One is literally just fake your whole life, as in go to hotels and just sit in the lobby and take pictures of yourself, and obviously take like OF results from the internet or from random groups, whatever. Um, or go on Pinterest and search up, for example, rich lifestyle, and then you'll see a bunch of videos, no, sorry, photos of you know people that are basically rich and basically what a girl would want to see on a personal account from someone that's DMing them. Um, so yeah, and then obviously, like for highlights, you want to get some OF results. You can do this from either random groups, like if you, like some groups, like mine, for example. We obviously share results a lot, which you can use. Or the internet, stuff like that. You can find results literally pretty much everywhere. I think it's quite simple to find them. That's really it. Obviously, if you want it to look professional, you can go to my Instagram if you want, as an example. But yeah. And a fake model account is basically what it is in the name. You're basically faking being a model. So, for example, a random model, let's just say Sophie Rain. I wouldn't recommend doing one that's like as popular as Sophie Rain. Only because if a girl with 2K followers gets a DM from Sophie Rain saying, "Hi, do you want to work for with the agency I work with?" They're gonna realistically know. Like, there's no way Sophie Rain has just DM me. Whereas if you find a girl with like, let's say, 50K followers, they might not even know her, and even if they do, 50K followers is not famous. Like, obviously it's popular, it's a good amount of followers, but it's not famous, right? Um, so yeah, basically find a girl like that, and then copy her selfie, put the link in the bio and stuff like that. Just make the account private. And for both of these, by the way, you can buy followers as well. Um, Obviously to make it look like you actually have followers and stuff. And yeah, and obviously on on the personal account, usually we just DM something simple, right? So you don't want to write them a whole paragraph that they don't care to read, or even if they do read it, they're gonna probably think that you're like either a scam or just not real. Um, we just keep it simple. We just ask them like, "Hey, are you currently working with any management or by yourself?" And then if they're interested, they're interested. And with the fake model one, there's sort of two approaches you can do. There's a long one and a short one. So the long one is where you sort of talk to them and try, be friendly with them, ask them about clothing, anything like that, like, oh, like, where'd you get this dress from? It's really cute, whatever. And then obviously, start asking about how's your OF doing, blah blah, and then be like, oh, I work with this agency, they're doing really good for me. Like, do you want me to get in contact with them? And obviously, if they're interested, again, then you start talking to her as agency on like WhatsApp or something. And then the short one is where you sort of get straight to the point, because girls usually trust girls more, even though you're not actually a girl in a situation, you're a fake model, obviously. But um, if you're DMing her as a girl saying, "Hey, I work with an agency," like I think you would be a good fit, something like that. then they also might be more interested in replying to that girl rather than like even a personal account. So yeah. So that's the two options for outreach that I would say work the best at the moment, in my opinion. Obviously, there are other things that can work. I'm not saying nothing else works, but in my opinion, these are the two like sort of best ones for now. That if you are going to choose outreach as your way of trying to get a model, then stick with these two. Um, and yeah, and the next one is ads. I don't want to go too in depth into this because I share details on how to run ads in a private group. But pretty much you can run ads, on Instagram, on like an agency page. Um, you can literally just boost on Instagram, and if you've set up correctly by just having it as women, the countries you want, the ages you want, possibly interests, make it like send me a DM as the call to action thing. Then obviously then you start getting models that are going to DM you. And the post that you want to make is basically just like you can go on Canva.com or you can pay someone to do it. Basically, it's like an OF result, saying like DM us to work or like agency or like management, DM us, right? Literally something simple like that, and then like I said, just boost that, and you'll start getting DMs. Um, yeah, with ads, obviously, like it more depends on your budget as well. Um, Ads can be cheap depending on what countries you do, but if you target only like American stuff, I'll recommend to have a few $100s if you like want to actually sign a good model, then have a few $100s to like sort of waste into ads because like America for example, like UK, they like cost the most obviously to like find like a high quality lead. Um, but yeah, next one is marketplaces slash buying a contract. So this is basically the same thing as ads, but it costs more. The reason why it costs more is because obviously you can pick exactly like the career you think would be a good fit for you. Because the only downside to ads is even though it's cheaper, you don't know what you're getting, right? You just put ads out there, and whatever girl sees it, and whichever one's interested might DM you. And you obviously don't know which one you're spending money on to DM you. Whereas with marketplaces, you can just join the Telegram channel, have a look, see what you like. If you like one, you can buy her or buy the contract. Um, so obviously it costs more for that reason because you can choose exactly which one you like. Um, but yeah, so we have a marketplace. Like I've got my own marketplace. If you guys are interested in that, I'll leave it in the description of this video, and I talk about it every now and then in my main Telegram as well. If you guys want to join that too. Um, but yeah, we basically aim to have like the cheapest marketplace possible out there, because I think one of the main issues with marketplaces in this industry is they charge way too much. Um, Especially when ads usually don't cost that much to run, and then they charge like 10x what they have to spend. So we keep our marketplace pretty cheap. Obviously, also just to help beginners and stuff. Not every beginner has 10k ready to spend. So yeah, that's sort of what we have to do. Obviously, I'm not saying every model in there is cheap. If there's a model making money already or like really high quality, obviously we do list it for hire. But we do have like a lower budget uh, create contracts as well. So I'll leave it in the description. If you guys want to basically just get started instantly, not after hours and stuff, then you can do that. But anyway, next, these are the sort of the two, I'd say, hardest ones. I can take the longest, but at the same time also can be most worth it in the long term. So, word of mouth. If you're a beginner, you probably won't get this unless you know a lot of people in real life. Like, let's say you live in like a popular place like LA or Miami, and maybe you know other agency owners, or you just know a lot of girls that do maybe OF or do something similar to that, and you're friends with them, and you tell them like, look, I'm starting OFM. If you know any girls that might want to start or I need a management, and let me know. Obviously, like real life word of mouth stuff like that. Basically, just having people that you know that might want to come to you to work with you. But you can also have like online word of mouth, where it's basically just models telling other models about you. So this, like I said, it's not really like a beginner thing because this more comes from you actually making people like models money. Um, basically how it works is, for example, let's say I sign the model, and within 3 months, like let's say we took her from 5k a month to I don't know 30k a month within 3 months, right? Um, if we do that, obviously she's gonna be very happy. You know, she's making way more than she used to, even, you know, minus the percentage split, whatever we might be doing with her. She's making a lot more money than she used to be. So obviously then, you know, if she's got any friends that either want to start OF or already doing OF, or she just knows some people that are doing OF, she's then obviously gonna, you know, if she ever talks about management to them, she's then obviously gonna go and tell them, you know, the management I work with right now, like, I used to make 5K a month, now I make 30 thanks to them. And obviously then she'll recommend us to them, and, you know, that other model can come DM us and say they're interested. Um, so obviously that's one way, like, you know, it's not like a guaranteed way of getting models consistently. But, you know, for example, like if you work with a popular girl, basically, like let's say she lives in Miami, especially places like Miami and LA, or like London, like basically big cities. If you work with a model like that and you make her a lot of money, chances are she'll know at least a few people that do OF or want to do OF, and obviously then she can recommend you to them. So it's a very good way, especially for the popular city girls that will do OF and work with you. Um, so yeah, but like I said, it's not really a beginner thing, but it's a very good way to start getting, you know, models that want to come to you without you really having to do any work, and then just obviously making money for everyone. Um, and then last one is basically building a personal brand. So obviously this is, you know, it's not like an easy thing to just do overnight, but a way to get organic leads, basically the way I do it. You know, you're watching this YouTube video right now, and even though most people that watch my YouTube videos are agencies, there are also going to be models that just want to find out how to do marketing on, let's say, Reddit or IG or Twitter or whatever, right? A lot of the time I make videos about Twitter, IG, whatever. Um, and like I said, most people are agencies, but then there'll be some models that watch it and they might be like, you know what, let me DM him because I want to work with an agency instead of doing it myself. And you know, that's an organic lead, right? Like I don't have to do anything for that other than just obviously posting, having my personal brand. Same with posting on TikTok or on IG, whatever. Even posting on Twitter. I don't really do Twitter for FM, but um, like TikTok, like I said, or IG. You know, me posting every single day. It is mainly men and mainly agencies or people that want to do an agency, but there will be the odd girl or model, sorry, that watches me and thinks, let me DM him. Like I get DMs most days from models saying that they want to work with me, and it's just organic leads, right? Like I don't really have to go out of my way to find them; they just come DM me. So like I said, this is more like a long-term option, but obviously if you're in it for the long game, I don't see why someone shouldn't have a personal brand unless you really don't like, unless you really want to keep to yourself and be private, then sure. But um, yeah, like I said, you know, just posting YouTube videos stuff like this, like even what I'm doing now, you know, it doesn't take much time out of your day to just talk into the mic and give out some information. So yeah, but anyway, that's basically it for the video, guys. If you guys have any questions, then just email me on Telegram. I'll leave everything in the description, like I said, the marketplace, all of that. So yeah, see you guys later.